Hello folks, this is Sula speaking, and welcome to another commentary video on League of Legends, this one featuring Karthus. We've been going back and forth with this other team for quite a long time now, and this has turned into a very long game. The good news is that I have now summoned up enough money to purchase Sonya's ring, and so that'll be useful to me in the future. I'm also going to use the rest of the gold that I've built up to purchase, start building towards Rylai's Crystal Scepter. Rylai's is a pretty useful weapon for Karthus, in part because, of course, it gives ability power, as you might expect, but it also provides additional life, which is very helpful. And finally, it also produces the slowing effect anytime someone gets hit with one of Karthus' spells, and since Karthus spams his Lay Waste so much, it actually will slow anyone who gets hit by Lay Waste. And it actually will slow people who get hit by, I think it slows people that will get hit by his Defile. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I believe that it does. So people just by standing in his Defile will be slowed down, make it easier to get a kill. Now Pantheon was trapped in our jungle, and so I'm going to be able to kill him, but the rest of his team is right behind him. The other team is falling behind. Are they going to be able to get Mookie? They're trying to kill him, but it looks like Mookie's actually going to be able to slip away, and in comes a nice Ash Arrow, so well done on that part. Sunrise initiates with a bandage toss, but then didn't follow it up. I don't know if his ultimate was down or something. That actually would have been a good time to use it. Mookie was almost dead, but of course because he's Sona, he can keep healing himself constantly. And healing the rest of us too. One of the reasons why Sona's such a good support champ. Now Sunrise is going to bandage toss in, and we were like, Sunrise, initiate, use your use your ultimate. Well, Sunrise dies almost instantaneously because their team is doing a lot of damage, but he does stun the enemy team long enough that we're able to get 2 kills, and then I'm gonna pop off my ultimate, and I actually don't get a kill using it, but I did get an assist because I think it helped Mookie get the kill on Veigar. Now Cho'Gath is the only one still alive, and Mookie's going to pursue him. I was like, oh, you're never going to catch him, Mookie. Let's just try to push the middle lane. I picked up the blue buff from killing one of them, so I was like, all right, let's just push the middle lane. But Mookie continues to chase Cho'Gath. And, well, Mookie proves me wrong because he manages to get that kill on Cho'Gath. So, very nicely done. I was certainly wrong on that one. You also see the comment on the left side from one of the people on their team. I actually didn't even notice this while playing, but pretty poor manners there. In any case, we certainly are not out of this game. I mean, granted, we're still a little behind in kills, but this game is hardly over. Now, Pantheon's going to jump in behind us, but we're going to respond. I'm going to throw down my wall. Everyone else is going to focus their damage on him. He gets stunned there, and we're able to finish him off. So, well done, everybody. He didn't manage to kill any of us. We got another kill on him. We were able to finish off that tower. And now that the rest of their team's about to come back up, we're going to back off. And, we're going to back off and go back and heal. So, very well done. Now, granted, they were able to kill, I think they killed Sunrise, and I think that they killed Mostly Harmless at the beginning of that fight. I'm not 100% sure. But we aced their team, and we actually got 6 kills because we aced them, and then we got another kill on Pantheon for the second time. So, a very, very good result for our team, helping us get back into this thing. Now I'm going to finish off purchasing Rylai's, and you can see now we're only down 6 kills, so we've essentially evened it up on kills. Excuse me. And I'm continuing to stack ability power. I've got Sonya's, I have a Rod of the Ages that's completely maxed out, I have a Archangel Staff that's got to be close to maxed out, Rylai's, and another Blasting Wand. I'm up to 585 AP at this point, which is a humongous total. Now, there's just one problem. The other team came back up from death, and we haven't seen them yet. And in fact, we've got the lanes pretty far advanced. So at this point, I was starting to realize, wait a minute, where is their team? Where did they go? And then right around this point, I started to realize, oh no, they probably went in for the Baron, didn't they? Because once again, we don't have a ward at the Baron. So I realized, oh, I should better go over and check that. So I'm going to head over in this direction. And uh-oh, yep, sure enough, I see Cho'Gath, and he's glowing purple. So we have given them the Baron buff yet again. This is just a horrible misplay on our part. You could see we aced the other team. We had the lanes pushed forward. There is no excuse for letting them just walk right in and grab the Baron for a second time. So inexcusable on our part, and myself completely included in that. I mean, I'm not trying to take myself out of that, but no wards, nobody checking the Baron, which it doesn't make any sense. us. Just a bad play on our part. Bad play. So for the next few minutes, we're going to be behind the 8 ball yet again. And once again, we're going to go back and we're going to defend our base and wait for them to try to push in, because if we're going to force a team fight, we want it to be by one of our towers. It might be enough to help us win a fight that we would otherwise lose. Another thing to keep in mind is if you look at these entrances to your base, they're actually pretty narrow. It really forces the enemy team together. So if you have an area of effect ultimate, like say Amumu's ultimate that stuns everybody, or Sona's ultimate that well, essentially does the same thing. It can be very useful in sort of these small enclosed areas. Whereas if we go out and try to fight them in the jungle, well, we're more likely to get aced and lose. Okay, so we lost a tower top. There was no way we could protect that tower, so we didn't even try to defend that one. They were going to get that one. We don't want to get sucked too far out of our base and then get caught out and killed. So you can see they're all running around outside our base, but they seem to be a little bit reluctant to actually come inside and fight us. Now, once again, they're kind of going to do the same thing that they did before. That is, split up, have different people pressuring different lanes. Again, I don't think that this is the right tactic based on how I've seen this game played before. Trying to split people up into other lanes. You can do this, but you have to do it in certain ways. Generally speaking, what you want to do is, if you're going to do that, you have 4 people together in one lane who are pushing it together and holding the enemy team there, and then you have one person go off into another lane. Generally, somebody who is really good at pushing, like I don't know, like Tristana, for example, or maybe Sivir. I mean, if someone's actually playing Sivir, I mean, that's pretty rare, but something like that. But just splitting people off into side lanes is generally not good. They're going to come forward against our tower there, but then they back off for some reason. Very, very strange. Jax is pushing in again, but for some reason, Jax tries to push in with no minions. He just started tanking the tower with no minions. And so Mookie just stuns him and kills him easily. Again, a misplay. So even though they have the Baron, they're down a man. And so now if they try to force a team fight with us, it's going to be 4 versus 5, and they're probably going to lose that team fight if they try to do it. So they've made another mistake. And once again, even though they have a big advantage on us, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to capitalize on it, at least not easily. Now I see Pantheon over here trying to push the bottom lane, and so I am going to go out to defend this tower. This is a little bit risky because I'm being pulled out away from the base, and so there's some danger here. But at the same time, if I can get to this tower and defend it, I don't want to just surrender the tower without a fight. At the very least, it will force them to push through here later on, just provide them another obstacle. So more of a delay before they can reach our inhibitor, which is the key thing we need to protect. So I just go forward and push that lane, and I'm able to get back here. Once again, I was expecting them to push here in the middle, but again, they seem to be backing off, playing a little bit more passively. They're probably waiting for Jax to come back from death, so that then they can fight us 4 versus 5. But again, the longer they wait, that Baron timer is ticking the whole time. If they wait too long, they're going to lose that Baron buff, and then they'll be right back to having no real advantage over us. So once again, you can see, look, they're splitting up. Vygar's top lane, Pantheon's bottom lane, and Anivia and Cho'Gath are middle lane. So once again, they continue to split up, and now if you look at Anivia, she's lost the Baron buff. So they've let that big advantage more or less go to waste. So now we have no problem with forcing a team fight. We'll wait to see what they do, but we'd be happy to fight them right now. Anyway, they are going to push on this tower, and together with Cho'Gath and Pantheon, it looks like they're going to be able to get this one. So we're not going to be able to save that one, unfortunately, but at least we delayed them a bit and forced them, to take the time to go after it. So our positioning in terms of the map is very poor, but now they start to come in, and unfortunately Donska gets killed immediately by Anivia. They're trying to push in here in mid, so we're going to fight them here, and I don't know what Cho'Gath's doing. He's just sort of walking back and forth. We're going to go after Anivia, and we're going to go after Jax. I use Zanya's to shield myself from Anivia's Glacial Storm, and I'm going to continue focusing Jax. Anivia's dead, but she's still in her egg form, and we managed to get the kill on her. We managed to get the kill on Jax. I don't think we got anybody else, but we did manage to get 2 kills there, and that's a very big advantage. So we've lost Donsky, so we have 4 people, but they're only going to have 3 players, and we've played so long at this point in time, they're going to be dead for quite some time. It's going to take them a full 60 seconds to come back to life. So what that means is we're going to push. We're going to push this middle lane, and we're going to go as far as we can get, and see if we can get into their base before the rest of their team comes back up. This is one of the more exciting parts of the game when it becomes a race against time. When you have X amount of time before the rest of the team comes back from death, and you are trying to see if you can push on and see how far you can get. So Veigar is coming out to defend us. We're going to focus on the tower, and now Pantheon is going to jump in and try to do the same thing as before. We're going to focus Pantheon because, frankly, he's more dangerous than Veigar. I was about to die, so I'm going to slip out of there and use my ultimate. It doesn't kill anybody, but it does do a lot of damage, and with the cooldown, it'll be back up, probably, for the next fight. At least I think so. Now Cho'Gath is coming out, and it looks like most of their team is going to come back up. So, unfortunately, we weren't able to do that much on that particular push. But we did manage to get that lane advanced all the way up. We've cleared the Baron buff off their team, so they don't have that. We've pushed it. You can see all the lanes are pushed out, and we're overall in much better shape. We're still probably a little bit behind, but it's getting a lot closer. And our fortunes have certainly taken a turn for the upswing. I was going to teleport back to our base, but then I realized, well, while I'm here, let's grab the Golem buff. There's no reason not to get it. I might as well set things up for myself so I can just spam Defile as much as I want. So I'll take that, and now I'll go back to the base, and I still have teleport up, so if I need to get somewhere very quickly, I can do that. For my final item here, I decided to buy a Void Staff. More for lack of anything else than really any other compelling reason. I'm just sort of not sure what else I could have bought that would have been that great. And with my remaining money, I'll buy an Elixir of Brilliance for a little bit extra ability power. Between my Void Staff and Mookie's Abyssal Scepter, my spells will just completely shred through any magic defense that they have. I probably have about 100 spell penetration, or maybe even a little bit more with everything combined. So that's going to destroy their magic, any magic resistance they have. I'm also up to 713 ability power, which is probably about as high as you can get without a Majai's, and I'm not a big fan of Majai's. Now look, Pantheon is trying to camp out in the bushes here, and God knows why he's doing that, you know, separate from the rest of his team. So we're able to get a kill on him very easily, and now we're going to have a big advantage in any team fight because we've got 5 people and they're only going to have 4. I guess he was maybe trying to serve as a spotter for them if they were going for the Baron. But if that was the case, I don't know why he didn't back off as soon as he saw us. He should have seen us approaching him and gotten out of there. So anyway, Pantheon's silliness has put them behind the 8 ball, and that's going to give us an advantage here as we try to push forward. So now they are on the defensive. They're the ones who are going to have to try and defend their base. So our situation has been reversed from before. You can see Cho'Gath is off there on the left, which is a little bit of a concern that he might try to flank us out of that jungle. So we have pushed this lane forward, and they're expecting us to charge into the middle, but we aren't going to do that. Mookie suggests, hey, why don't we go over to this side lane and try to get the tower over here, because the bottom lane was pushed pretty far forward as well. That seems like a smarter idea. So we're going to do something similar to what they did before, but hopefully a little bit smarter, because we're not going to send one person over here. We're going to send the whole team over here. Now, they do know that we're over here, but still, it's sort of broken up their formation. You can see Veigar way over there by himself, and did you notice how much damage a single lay waste from me did to Veigar? Pretty impressive. Once Karthus gets this much ability power, he is someone to be feared. Unfortunately, the rest of their team is kind of back up, so we're sort of going to back off. Now, Pantheon is backdooring us, so I'm going to teleport over there to deal with that, and the rest of the team's going to fight them over here. I do not want Pantheon to get this inhibitor, so I'm going to come back to try to deal with this. Now, Pantheon jumps on me, but he doesn't seem to realize just how much damage my spells are doing with all this ability power. So together between Lay Waste and Defile, he just gets annihilated, and then I'm going to pop off my ultimate. In fact, I actually didn't need to use it. It looks like the rest of the team had the situation already under control, but I figured better safe than sorry. I didn't really know if they actually needed me. Excuse me. Didn't know if they needed me at that point, and I figured I'm just going to fire off my ultimate and see if that helps them. They are going to push that top lane because Anivia is the only one still alive. I literally have nothing to buy, so I will triple pot. I will buy a blue, a green, and a red, and I'm going to. I said, you guys go ahead, push that lane, see if you can get whatever you want. I don't have teleport up. I can't join you, so I'm going to push the middle lane. I'm just going to advance this as far as I can get, just push the minions back. I actually popped off Ghost to do this because time is very precious at this point in time. So they were able to get that tower over there, and then now while the rest of my team is backing off, I'm going to give the enemy team something else to worry about by pushing this lane and killing all the enemy minions. And even though I'm doubtful that I'm going to be able to get into the enemy base, at the very least, I can push the minions all the way up to their tower and force it so they'll have to deal with that. Okay, anyway, we're getting close to the end of this video, so once again, thanks for watching. This has been a long series, but this game will finally be concluded in part